I know some of you have been asking when I'm going to get back out on course and film. I've got a little bit of film today. The reason that I do not film on course as much anymore is for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's busy out here. This is a very busy golf course that I come to, and all of the other ones are just as busy. It's kind of disrespectful to set up a camera in the middle of crowds and to try and film. The other reason is that I'm kind of selfish lately with my golf. It's for me. I try to share a lot of things that are helping me out with you guys. I try and share some of the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years, but you know, I'm not even using my mics right now because this has kind of impromptu out on course, but filming detracts and takes away from what I'm trying to do. It splits my focus, and right now I am trying to improve. I've been doing so by not recording, and I don't want to mess with that. I want to keep improving. I want to keep getting better, and so I'm being a little selfish, but you know, I'm showing you guys a couple of things out here today. Check it out. Drive went 272. Can't remember the yardage I got into this, so I'll have to go back to my GolfPad app and check it. It's hard to use GolfPad and record on the same phone at the same time, but I am starting to get used to the Lab putter. I've got the Armlock Lab DF 2.1 putter. I've used it for 3 rounds now. I don't use it as an Armlock, but it's a heavier putter. It's got more weight to it. I can let the putter do the work easier, I find, that way. So I'm just gripping it like a normal putter and then, you know, just rolling the ball. But let's see if I can make a birdie here. Par 3, just hit the heart of this green with a little draw. It did release a little bit toward the hole, but I still probably got a good, I'm gonna call it 16 to 18 feet from what it looks like right here. Set you down again, let you see the Lab putter in action. It takes a little bit of time because it is pretty alien. If you can just get out of the putter's way and trust it and just roll the ball. It's not gonna make more putts for you, but it's gonna help you miss less. I haven't heard anybody really say this or explain this, but with the Lab putter, people ask the question, well, am I going to make more putts? And here's the deal, okay? Here's how it needs to be presented, in my opinion. There are a lot of factors to making putts. There is, did you read the putt correctly? Did you start the ball on the correct line? Did you get the right speed? Did you have the right speed to line combination? There's a lot of things that you need to be able to do correctly in order to make putts. Once you set up to a putt and it's time to stroke that putt, you need to only be thinking about speed. Line is done. You've already read the putt. You've determined a line/speed combination. Once you set up and set that putter in and it's time to take the putter away and start your putting motion, there is no line. It's just speed. So you should be, if you can, visualizing that putt rolling in real time, the pace that it's going to come off the putter midway through, toward the end of the putt, as it slows to a stop or in the cup, however you're visualizing it. But you should be thinking only speed. Now, with a lot of amateurs that are putting, your stroke can wiggle and kind of move around instead of being straight back, straight through, or on the arc, or however you're putting. But believe it or not, you miss the center of the putter face often. And if you miss the center of the putter face on a conventional putter that has torque in it, or you're missing the sweet spot, you lose a little bit of speed and you lose a little bit of the line that you were trying to start it on. With this and the other Lab putters that have zero torque, essentially the entire face almost is one big sweet spot. You're not going to lose that speed. You're not going to lose that line, that starting line that you were on. What it's going to do is help you get the ball started on the line with the speed that you apply to it, rather than having an execution error. It helps you execute your plan better. That's the way I think the lab putter needs to be explained. If you watch this channel for any length of time and you've seen me on this golf course, you know that I hate hole 18. It's a par 5, dogleg left, big pond in front of the green. If I make par on this hole, which I've made plenty of pars on this hole, it feels like birdie. I'm gonna try and make a legitimate birdie with the lab putter. And if it makes me my first birdie ever on this hole, I've made birdies before, it's not on this hole, but if it makes me my first birdie on this hole, I'm gonna declare it the king of all putters. That's super bueno. Very good. Primo. I'm down here short of the water. I've got 125 left into the middle of this green. It is a middle pin. A little bit of breeze. I can't tell if it's swirling or if it's dead in my face. Oh man. The smart play here is probably to swing like a 9 o'clock 9-iron. But instead, I think I'm going to just try and hit a lower trajectory pitching wedge, because I do not want to be behind the hole. I'd rather be below the hole. Hopefully, I find the green here, and come on, let's make this birdie putt. Don't swing hard, just swing normal. I did not make birdie on the 18th. So can I declare the Lab DF 2.1 arm lock putter the king of all putters? I guess not. I'll have to wait for later to put the crown on this particular putter. However, I think it's kind of an inevitability. The premise behind what Lab is doing is very sound. As I said, this is a little alien. When you first try it, you've got, by the way, the head covers on these, man, really cush, top quality. But you've got the forward press, the shaft lean built into these putters. That in itself is something that it takes a little bit to get used to. Then you've got the fact that you've got this obnoxiously large putter head on the end of this stick. Back when these first came out, you might have to deal with some ridicule. As of now, they're becoming more and more prominent, so you're probably not going to be ridiculed by people. You're probably going to be the envy of everybody out there. These are very pricey. These are very pricey when they're brand new. I got this one used, and I got to tell you, I got a whale of a deal on it. And if I hadn't got a deal, I probably never would have been able to get one of these putters, because my channel's too small. Lab is not going to send me out a free putter and go, here you go. Nah, they don't care. They don't know I exist. So this is definitely not a sponsored ad. You've got multiple things that you have to get right in order to putt well and make putts. Even if you are great at reading greens, and even if you have the right line and the right speed in your plan to execute that putt, it would have gone in the hole with proper execution. You still have to execute the putt. This, the technology, the thought behind it, the fact that the whole thing is basically a sweet spot, the fact that it doesn't have any torque and it doesn't want to move in your hands, you don't have to make any manipulations, and you're not going to lose that line and speed on off-center strikes nearly as bad as you would with a conventional putter. That right there will help you execute. You just need to get better at reading greens and picking line and speed. I don't use it as an arm lock. I've tried that. I've honestly thought about trying to take advantage of the arm lock setup in putting. Every time I've tried it, this right wrist, I have so much pain in this right wrist, I can't get the wrist to lay on it right. And then I even tried doing that claw grip where you grab it this way. I can't get that to feel right at all. I've tried a lot of that stuff before. It's just not for me. Why did I choose this over the Mez Max, the Link 1, the DF3 that is now out? Why did I choose it? There's a couple of reasons. Number one, the Mez was pretty much born because they were trying to come out with a more digestible, more commercially desirable version of this putter. Something that did not look so alien and so foreign to get more people to try these putters out. And it worked. The Mez, hugely popular. The Mez Max came out after that. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Is it as good or better than this one? Erik Anders Lang is one of my favorite YouTubers. He does adventures in golf along with a lot of other things, Random Golf Club, you name it. I think he is just fantastic. He would be good if he was filming people making grilled cheese sandwiches. I love what he does. And recently, he played around at Bandon Dunes with a couple of people, and one of the people was the guy who owns Lab. If you own Lab Golf and you have access to any putter, even prototypes that they are currently working on, in any color, in any configuration, and you choose the DF 2.1, right now I'm just trying to get a feel for it, and I'm trying to get it to a place that is equal to the putter that I was using before. Once I do that, that's hurdle number one. Then I'm going to see how far beyond my old putter that I had for years this can go. We'll see if it's going to top it. I think in the end, with some more time, maybe a few months from now, I'll be able to declare the Lab DF 2.1 the king of all putters.